This roof's getting installed with our premium roofing system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm so excited you could join me here in the Room to Room Weather Center for what has been a dreary Saturday, but also a good Saturday. I always love these lazy, rainy days. Got nothing to do, kick up that recliner, enjoy some football. So I hope we can continue enjoying that as we continue into the evening ahead, which brings us to the first headline. Dreary Saturday continues. This wasn't just an early morning, afternoon event. This has been going on all day and will continue pretty much all night as well into your early Sunday morning hours. But don't worry, we have a beautiful end to Thanksgiving break coming up on the horizon. Just got to get through these rainy conditions overnight and then we'll see a beautiful Sunday. As long as you can deal with that cold. Definitely going to be chilly. Make sure to stay layered up, but will be beautiful on the back half as we get ready for that work week. But once we get into the work week, that rain, it's going to return quickly. We're going to see rainy conditions Monday into your Tuesday morning hours again. Kind of a repeat of what we're experiencing right now, but maybe just a little bit more rainfall. We're going to be covering everything you need to know for this weekend, but also up for the work week coming up throughout the rest of this broadcast. But let's take a live look out here in Crenshaw right now. I mean, you can see down here on the map, soggy conditions all around the area. Temperatures around 46 degrees, but feels like 43. We're going to keep talking about this pretty much for the rest of the weekend. Those feels like values definitely going to feel a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. You can see 6-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the south right now. Dew point around 41 degrees as we continue into our evening ahead, especially for those out there in Crenshaw. Make sure to stay inside with those dreary conditions. But out here in Columbus, still not really seeing many wet conditions, kind of mostly dry all across the area, not really soggy road conditions. Everyone's still out and about throughout y'all Saturday evening. 50 degrees, feels like 50 as well. A little bit more breezy, 10 miles per hour coming out of the southeast. So it should be a beautiful evening out there for us here in North Mississippi, especially in the Golden Triangle region. But let's take another live look out here in Amory. 48 degrees, feels like 46 there. So those feels like values coming in just a little bit cooler. 6-mile-per-hour winds coming out of the southeast as well. But the first 12 showing those rainy conditions as we wrap up our evening and head into the overnight hours. We're starting off with temperatures around 47 degrees, 40% chance of rain as that rain continues sweeping all across North Mississippi, trying to give us a chance to see these drizzles, sprinkles, maybe some heavy showers, but not expecting anything severe. This is just rain we can enjoy and not stress about for the rest of the evening. And those rain changes continue to stay pretty consistent into the AM hours before eventually fading off in the early morning hours once we get ready for our Sunday morning church commute. Most of us should see dry conditions, but maybe a few lingering showers. But also notice we're waking up with temperatures in the low 40s, so definitely going to be a chilly start to your Sunday, but also just a chilly Sunday all around. So let's take a live look out here with our Mississippi Live Weather Radar, pretty much talking about those soggy conditions all across North Mississippi. You can see some heavier downpours maybe out there in Grenada, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but that's going to be the most severe aspect if we can call rumbles of thunder severe. This is just some much needed rain here in North Mississippi. We can even try to zoom in just a little bit to focus on certain areas here in North Mississippi, especially for those in Michigan City. Kind of been a dreary day, especially if you're any Wolverine fans from Michigan. Ohio State beat y'all today, was an excellent game. Glad to see that the Buckeyes won the game today, so definitely good for those Buckeye fans out there. But any Wolverines out there in Michigan City, definitely not enjoying that Michigan loss, but going to be a dreary Saturday as we continue. Seeing those rain changes continue to move across. And let's just back up just a little bit just to see kind of what's been going on across North Mississippi throughout our day. We talked about this yesterday. Let's put this on a lapse for the last, let's see, what should we do? Let's do 6 hours. I mean, this is what we're talking about. Not really meaningful rainfall. Very soggy, drizzly, sprinkly conditions. Not really heavy downpours, but just dreary conditions as we continue throughout the day. That's going to continue into the overnight period as well. We saw some heavier showers in the northern part, kind of around Corinth and moving out towards Alabama and Tennessee, but that's the extent of what we've been facing today and into the overnight hours as well. But let's take a look at Futurecast, kind of what's responsible for this, and that's this cold front. Going to start kind of getting closer and closer towards North Mississippi. That's what's pushing all this rainfall ahead of it, and also what's going to allow us to feel even cooler and colder on the backside of that cold front. That wind, not going to be our friends at the end of this weekend and into the start of the work week. You can also see lots of snow up north, but we are not seeing any of that down here in the south. Just going to be very rainy as we wrap up our Saturday and get ready for the Sunday. Futurecast going to show those rainy conditions with that cold front still pushing into North Mississippi, allowing those soggy conditions to pretty much linger all night long into your early Tuesday morning hours. We can see some heavier showers on the southern portions of this front, those yellow, oranges, reds, all the way down south into Louisiana and Texas. Up here in North Mississippi, we're just seeing pretty much dark greens, those rain showers, sprinkles, going to continue overnight into your Sunday morning hours. Even by the early AM hours, going to be a dreary, rainy day. So I know my family loves sleeping with those rainy conditions. Going to be a great night for y'all out there in North Mississippi, especially if you love those conditions as you fall asleep. But the good news, by the time we wake up Sunday morning, we're seeing drier conditions. Still going to be cloudy, but definitely drier conditions for any Sunday morning church commutes. Going to be beautiful as those last minute showers kind of continue pushing on out of North Mississippi. We're eventually placed with a lot colder but drier conditions ahead for your Sunday. Next 24 kind of shows what we're expecting as you get ready for the Sunday ahead. 10% chance of showers by 6 o'clock with those last minute showers still moving out of our area. Temperatures in the low 40s, 41 by 6 o'clock, even going down just a little bit. 40 degrees by 9 o'clock, seeing those mostly cloudy conditions. But also one thing I want to point out, all these temperatures you're seeing here for your Sunday, you're not really going to be feeling those. You're going to feel a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. So make sure to stay layered up as you go about any last minute Thanksgiving break plans. It will be a chilly day, but also noticeably drier as well. That cloud cover going to stay pretty consistent, maybe seeing partly cloudy conditions on the back half of your Sunday before trying to see mostly clear conditions by nighttime. But then we're getting ready for the work week ahead. Not really going to see those cloudy and clearer conditions by the time we're wrapping up our Sunday and getting ready for the work week ahead. But I want to make sure to give you an in-depth look on what to expect as we get ready for the soggy night overhead, what your last day of Thanksgiving break looks like, and also the start of the work week. All that's coming up after this break.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious when he began to discover weather. Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Can I ask a few questions?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have any pets?
Yes, we have a dog, but she's little.
Do you have any unlocked guns around the house?
We do have a gun, but it's stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access. Appreciate you asking.
Yeah, of course.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Taking a live look out here in Tupelo. Nothing much to look at. Temperatures around 45 degrees, but those feels like values. You may be in the mid 40s with those temperatures, but you're feeling like you're in the upper 30s. Part of that are those breezy conditions. 10 mile per hour coming out of the south, but enjoy this wind direction coming out of the south. Once it starts coming out of the north, I mean, we are going to feel brisk as we wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. Notice just a second ago, you can kind of see a raindrop falling. We've been experiencing those soggy conditions today, and that's what's part of what you're about to figure out. Our chief meteorologist, Matt Laubon, went out towards Belmont for a Christmas parade that was going to happen earlier today. Unfortunately, that got postponed and delayed, but don't worry, he's got the latest on that right here.
That are plentiful above me. The folks here have gone ahead and chosen to reschedule the Christmas parade for Tuesday night at 6 p.m. I know some disappointed Lawpon kids on that front there, but probably the right choice considering some of the rain chances that we do have, and probably won't be the only parade that is delayed here. Luckily postponed and not canceled. As we work our way through downtown, a lot of folks there, a lot of good businesses open and showcasing what they have to share on this Saturday. We've been able to check some of those out today. Some good food here in downtown as well, and a lot of those vendors hopefully making making a little bit of money, and of course bringing in a beautiful season here as I kind of swing on the other part of Main Street to kind of show you a little bit of that. But yeah, right as a raindrop falls on my head. Again, they're choosing to reschedule the parade until Tuesday at 6 p.m. Not sure, but we're going to be able to make it up for that one. Hopefully we can get that on the schedule there. But we have a lot more around the region we'll be trying to make too, and hopefully your community pretty soon. So as we look down from around the festival here in Belmont from our Mississippi Live drone, we appreciate the good folks at MLM for sponsoring us here on Mississippi Live Weather and our tour of Christmas parades across North Mississippi here in 2025. But for now, I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon for Mississippi Live Weather.
I know it was very unfortunate that the Christmas parade got postponed, especially with it being on a weekend, but make sure to get out there Tuesday if you can, plans permitting. If y'all are able to make it out there, I know they will be excited to have that parade move towards Tuesday. But take a look at our day planner. We're seeing those soggy conditions that canceled it for tonight, seeing chances around 40% by 8 o'clock with temperatures around 47, but we're going to continue cooling on off as we continue into the evening. However, those rain chances not really decreasing with it, pretty much sticking consistent into the early AM hours as well. Going to be a soggy overnight period ahead of us. Futurecast doing a great job showing what's responsible for that as well. Those soggy conditions all across North Mississippi, and there's that cold front. It's going to continue sweeping across North Mississippi as we continue into the evening and overnight hours ahead. Still seeing rainy conditions by the 10 o'clock broadcast time later on tonight, but even post that into midnight and into the early AM hours, seeing soggy conditions all night long. Some heavier showers down south, but still just rainy conditions, not expecting anything severe tonight. Maybe could hear a rumble of thunder, but I doubt they're going to be even loud enough to wake us up. We can go to sleep peacefully, enjoy the rain hitting the roof, and have a fantastic night ahead of us as we wrap up our Thanksgiving break. But low temperatures overnight, going to still be very chilly, pretty much mid-30s all across North Mississippi. You can see some upper 40s as well, 41 in Amory and Starkville, 31 in Holly Springs, 32 Southaven, Senatobia, and Tunica. So still some areas reaching that freezing level. Make sure to take the necessary precautions, but thankfully not really seeing much below average conditions, and those Arctic conditions still kind of waiting just a little bit before they reach North Mississippi later on into the work week. But coming back to Futurecast, we can still see those last minute showers across North Mississippi, primarily south to southeast of our viewing area. Most of the people out west are going to see drier conditions from the start, but most of us will still see dry conditions by the time we start our Sunday morning church commute, and all of us are going to see a cloudy start to the day as well. That cold front going to try to keep pushing that cloud cover out just a little bit, seeing that northerly wind direction. That's going to be what's responsible for us feeling even cooler than what those temperatures are reading. This is at lunchtime, still seeing that cloud cover pretty much blanketing us here in North Mississippi. Thankfully, most of these are going to be very thin, high, and wispy in nature, so still going to feel like an amazing day ahead, but make sure to have those layers ready because it will still be chilly. Even by 6 o'clock, still seeing that cloud cover in our area here in North Mississippi. But those highs, like I mentioned, going to be a chilly day ahead tomorrow, pretty much mid 40s across North Mississippi, 47 in Tupelo, 44 Boonville, Iuka, and Corinth, 42 in Southaven, 45 out there in Greenville as well. But like I mentioned earlier, at no point tomorrow will those temperatures actually match up with what it feels like. We're going to feel a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading outdoors. You can see a significant difference between some of those temperatures. I mentioned you were talking about low 40s out there in Southaven, 33 in Southaven, 34 in Tunica, 35 Clarksdale and Cleveland, 37 out there in Greenville, just going along the Mississippi River. But everyone else in our viewing area is still kind of low 40s, upper 30s, so definitely going to be a brisk day ahead. Make sure you have those layers on because it'll get even cooler as we get ready for the work week. But had to put in the park planner, didn't put it in yesterday because we had soggy conditions. But if you're ready to brave the cold, have those layers ready. Going to still be a beautiful day, starting off with some last minute rain showers depending where you are in our viewing area, with temperatures starting at around 40 degrees by 7 o'clock, but barely warming up towards the mid 40s. Still going to feel like you're in the low 40s, upper 30s, but going to be a beautiful day seeing that cloud cover above us as you go throughout the rest of your Sunday and wrapping up the weekend here in North Mississippi. But Futurecast still showing that cloud cover moving on out by the time we reach that Saturday evening. Still seeing those thin wispy clouds above us, but that northerly wind pushing on out of our area. And with that, more cloud cover will come in later on overnight. We're starting to see that here by midnight into your early Monday morning hours. See those breezy conditions all across North Mississippi. I keep emphasizing these breezy conditions because towards the end of this broadcast, I'm going to be forecasting your wind chill not only for the rest of this weekend, but into the work week ahead just to see how cold it'll actually feel. And this is the part where I be the bad guy, and I hate being the bad guy. We're starting to see that wintry mix and those blue and purple pink colors here on Futurecast. I know as a kid, I was very excited because that means we get out of school. No, we're not getting out of school Monday. I'm still a kid in school. I have to go to class Monday and Tuesday, but we are all going to school at the start of our work week. This is the possibility of maybe seeing some flurries mixed in with that rain, but most of us are going to see rainy conditions by the start. But if we do see a flurry or two, the best chances are out there in the Delta along the Mississippi River. But what we are expecting to see is a whole lot of rain. This is more like what we're going to see pretty much lunchtime and on for your Monday. Going to be rainy conditions, a rainy, dreary Monday ahead of us. If Monday mornings and just Mondays in general aren't worse enough, we're starting to pair that with rainy conditions pretty much all day long. That rain moving in lunchtime and staying around all afternoon, pretty much encompassing all of North Mississippi. So definitely going to be a rainy afternoon and evening ahead. And this kind of a rinse and repeat of what we're experiencing now into Sunday. It's going to stick around all afternoon, evening, into the overnight hours as well, but into the early Tuesday morning hours. So still have that chance of rain for your Tuesday, but pretty much on the back half of your Tuesday, it'll be dry and perfect later on. And you can still see that wintry mix just a little bit up north out of our viewing area. But those high temperatures for your Monday, mid 40s across North Mississippi, South Haven coming in around 39, Tunica 39 as well, 40 in Cleveland, but still 46 in Starkville, 49 in Columbus, 50 I think is the highest value we see here in Aliceville and Vernon. So definitely going to be a cold day, especially with those feels like values, still feeling a lot cooler than what those temperatures are reading. And that's due to that northerly wind, that cold front moving on through. That is what's going to make us feel very brisk as we go about the next few days here in North Mississippi. But that 7-day forecast showing those rain chances as you continue into the last part of our weekend and work week ahead. 20% for your Sunday as those last minute rain chances are still kind of over the overnight hours, early AM hours, not really affecting us as we go about our day for Sunday. So still seeing mostly cloudy conditions, but come Monday, we are seeing rainy conditions pretty much lunchtime and on all across North Mississippi. You could argue maybe 10% for your Tuesday as those still linger into the early Tuesday morning hours, but we are staying dry for your Tuesday into your Wednesday as well. And then those rain changes come back again Thursday. Thankfully, pretty late in your Thursday, we can pretty much almost go completely dry throughout the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before those rain chances will turn for your Friday and stick around into your Saturday as well. So enjoy these conditions we have now, especially not really now, we're experiencing those soggy conditions, but on the back half of your Sunday as we wrap up our Thanksgiving break. But like I mentioned earlier, I want to forecast those wind chill values and what to expect as we wrap up this weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. Got to make sure you have those layers ready because it'll be brisk. I'm going to be covering all of that up coming up in 1 minute.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.
Well, I was just catching up on the comments. I saw someone commented about Michigan City earlier and put OH, so I'll finish that up for you. IO, definitely a good win for the Buckeyes later on today, snapping that 4-year streak of those L's in Michigan. But anyways, taking a look at those rainfall totals, kind of coming back towards the weather aspect of this forecast. Like we mentioned yesterday, most of these showers, drizzles, sprinkles we're all experiencing today will not be that meaningful across our viewing area, pretty much trace amounts all across North Mississippi. This is in the past 24 hours, but if we were to track kind of the past 3 hours, most recent across North Mississippi, start seeing some units placed, but we're talking barely a 1/10 of an inch across North Mississippi. Best values coming in 0.17 out there in Tunica, getting closer and closer to 1/4 of an inch. Senatobia coming in at 1/14 of an inch as well. Those units will try to increase just a little bit as we continue into the overnight hours, but still not expecting anything crazy. Maybe some local heavy downpours if you get lucky, but other than that, just going to be trace sprinkled drizzles as you continue into the overnight hours ahead. But let's focus on that future wind chill as we wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. Definitely going to be very cool and brisk. This is going to be later on this evening during the 10 o'clock broadcast time on what it feels like outdoors. And this is due to the wind and the change of direction as that cold front continues pushing on through. Pretty much mid 40s across all of North Mississippi, and enjoy it. Enjoy the darker blues, the grays where there's not any blue, because it's just going to get cooler from here on out into the weekend. There's that cold front. It's just kind of dipping into North Mississippi. You can see that contrast in temperatures, and also the wind direction blowing from the north, bringing in that Arctic, cooler, continental air here towards North Mississippi. By the time we're waking up for our church commute, may not want to be wearing many short sleeves, shorts, dresses. It will be a chilly one. 22 out there in South Haven, 21 in Senatobia, 20 in Holly Springs, almost in the upper teens as well. So definitely going to be a brisk start to your Sunday morning, but continuing throughout the rest of your Sunday, even by lunchtime, you're still feeling like you're in the 30s, whether that's mid 30s, upper 30s. See, I think 40 out here in Aliceville will be the highest value we have here. It'll just be a cold Sunday all around. So those temperatures all day long, not really going to match with how it feels like. You can pretty much look at the temperature, subtract a few degrees, and it will feel that way to you as you go about your Sunday. But into the evening hours as well, during that 10 o'clock broadcast time tomorrow, we are going to be talking about cool, frigid conditions for your Sunday evening. 20 out there in Holly Springs, again, pretty much upper teens. You can also see that pink starting to dip down just a little bit close towards North Mississippi. Will eventually make its way. 21 in Corinth, 22 in Booneville, 24 in Houston as well, 27 in Starkville. Definitely going to be a frigid into their Thanksgiving break. But there are those upper teens moving into North Mississippi, especially for Monday morning, and those early morning commuters. Going to be a frigid, cold start to the work week. 17 in South Haven, 18 in Senatobia and Tunica. There's those upper teens that I was just talking about. 24 in Grenada, Greenwood, Belzona, 22 out there in Greenville as well. So a cold start to your Monday morning, pretty much lasting all day. We're starting to see some of that gray return here to North Mississippi for your Monday. So showing tomorrow will technically be a little bit chillier, cooler than what your Monday will be. So make sure you have those layers ready, but still mid 40s northeast of our viewing area. But the further west, southwest you go, 30 in Belzona, 30 in Greenville as well, 34 in Cleveland, 37 in Clarksdale for your Monday afternoon. But into the evening hours as well, Monday at 10 o'clock, still seeing those mid 40s kind of return back towards North Mississippi. Fan of these dark blues, not really a fan of those light blues and those pinks, because that just means it'll be a little bit cooler and colder as we go about the day. Into your Tuesday morning, it'll be another cold start, pretty much mid 20s all across North Mississippi, well below freezing, but still feels that way. We could still see some below freezing conditions as well. We're going to be discussing that as we get into the work week, but all throughout your Tuesday, going to be a just cold day. Even by lunchtime, you're still feeling like you are in the 30s, but I guess we have made it past Thanksgiving and we are heading into December. It's just 'tis the season. So even by Tuesday evening, still seeing those cold conditions, but also notice those wind barbs gone. Not as breezy as you go into your Tuesday evening overnight hour. So showing maybe some relief is on the horizon, but we are still going to experience below average conditions as we continue into the work week and wrap up our weekend ahead. But of course, here's the QR code for both the iOS and Android version of our app. We appreciate all the support that you have given us and feedback, because we want to make sure to keep adding things that you want to see on the app, what you like to know and get alerted on. We want to make sure that app is top notch for y'all as we wrap up this weekend and get ready for any weather events heading this way towards North Mississippi. But we'll be live later on tonight at 10 to track the latest look on those rain values, especially as we continue heading into the evening overnight hours. See if those values have gone up just a little bit or if we continue to see those trace amounts. I'm going to catch up on these comments, see if there's anything else. I'm so not ready for this cold. Me neither. I hate the cold, but I got to also remember that we're getting into December and I got to get ready for it. So make sure I have those jackets, hoodies, and sweatpants ready, because, I'm not a fan of the cold either. But I appreciate y'all tuning into this broadcast. We'll be live, later on tonight at 10. Go out, continue to enjoy y'all's lazy, rainy Saturday, and I'll see y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center at 10.
Community is the way we find our strength and share our hope. It's the way dinner on the table brings a family closer together. It's the way we make sure his first chapter book is the first step on his path to greatness. It's the way we rally in hard times and rise back up stronger than ever. United is the way we come together so everyone can thrive. Join us
at unitedway.org.